Hello, I'm Chris Athanas, Salapodoulos Stasiopoulos. Easy for me to say. Yeah, tech support said they're coming out Tuesday. We'll see, right? Okay, we're gonna do another watch along with this movie called Future Shock. It's a little documentary. This book was like really when I was a kid, people were all talking about, oh my god, the future is coming so fast, it's coming so fast. And I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna like comment along and watch it along, and I might like speed it up in some areas to go a little faster, but the music I'll try and slow it down for the music sections, but because there's a couple of music sections that are cheesy as hell, but for the most part, this little documentary goes way too slow, so I need to speed it up. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, it's still proud. This is what we're dealing with right now. It's like happened way back then. People are like, oh my god, freaking out. And they're like, nah, that's not possible. That can't happen. McGraw Hill. I wonder.
Of my work, which takes me to just about every corner of the globe, I see many aspects of a phenomenon which I'm just beginning to understand. Our modern technology has achieved a degree of sophistication beyond our wildest dreams, but this technology has exacted a pretty heavy price. We live in an age of anxiety, a time of stress, and with all our sophistication, we are, in fact, the victims of our own technological strength. We are the victims of shock, of future shock. Future shock is a sickness which comes from too much change in too short a time. It's the feeling that nothing is permanent anymore. It's the reaction to changes that happen so fast that we can't absorb them. It's the premature arrival of the future.
Is it premature though, or is it that we were asked to like take all this stuff in, and you were a bad person, or you weren't in the know or in touch? And if you're taking in all the media sources, from the newspapers to the radio to all the talk shows to the TVs, if you didn't have an opinion about the latest events, well, what kind of sucker are you? Aren't you informed? It's like, is that really what's so? There's as much going on then as there is now. It's just we're now way more aware of it, right? Or we're told to be aware of it, forced to be aware of it in some regards.
For those who are unprepared, its effects can be pretty devastating.
Yeah, we're not really meant to, where he has humans, we're not really meant to be living in these massive million-person societies. The Dunbar's number is like, what, 125 people? And then we start to like, so there's 125 people that are coming from these media sources, like 100 of them from the media sources, and maybe 5 from your actual physical family and your physical people that you actually know in person, maybe 5, 10, but the rest of them are these 100 of like, celebrities that you saw in the movies. Ooh, the movies.
This is a friend's country house. Like myself, they're always on the move, so this retreat of theirs is mine for a while. You know, comfortable homes like old friends give us a sense of security, the feeling that some things at least stay the same. It's a feeling we need very much in this changing world. Every day we're bombarded by choices. We need to make instant decisions. We're in endless combat with our own environment, with all its pace and variety. It's...
Or put into combat with it, right? It's not like we're just like, oh, it's just a random environment. It's like people are producing these shows. They're producing the films. There's a lot of money involved. A lot of things on the line. Advertising money. Which is all of a sudden, no. There people are behind these things. It's not just all of a sudden technology exists. Like, no. These are sales cycles.
Choice and overchoice. What do we buy? Where do we go? What should we think? The make, the model, the price, the pitchman's plea. Buy now. Keep up with the latest. Don't fall behind.
Modern capitalism, the industrial capitalism. They were. This is where Bernays entered the scene, right? We had these industrial factories that basically produced everything anybody ever wanted, and they didn't produce anymore. So we got to keep these factories going. We got a lot of money in these factories. Bernays, do you have any tips? It's like, yes. Link your products or services with the inability to get sexual gratification and wanting to have get up in the hierarchy. You know, the men's thing and the women's thing. The men want to get sexual access as much as possible, and women want to get status higher somehow. So just feed them those two things, status and sex, and you got them sold. You can sell them the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, because they're never going to figure out that they're never going to get their sex need met with your particular product. But don't tell them that.
Pre-cooked, pre-packaged, plastic-wrapped, instant society. We're faced with so many choices, so many decisions. And we have to make them so quickly. None of us can escape the pressures. That's what future shock is all about. Don't fall behind. Keep up with the latest. Buy now. Technology feeds on knowledge, and knowledge expands at a phenomenal rate.
Is it the knowledge expanding at phenomenal rate? Is it really? Is it really true knowledge, or is this a bunch of bullshit that's been regurgitated and sold? Because like, the latest thing. It's like, okay, well, it's just kind of like the old thing that with your own little spin on it. You put a little new lingo, you made up a new word or something. But if it was really actually new knowledge, like a real new knowledge, and it was coming out that face, it's like, yeah, it would be incredible. But it's just a bunch of sludge. Just a bunch of garbage. It's like, this is nothing. Like, most of it's just pointless malarkey. But you gotta pay attention. It's the new latest thing. Have you checked it out? Have you seen it? Have you tried it? It's like, yeah, it's just kind of crap like all the rest of it. It's like, is it really different? Okay, can you tell me? No, it's a sale, so everything's the amazing, the greatest thing ever. It can't be better than the thing that it is that I'm telling you about. No, we're all like, okay, well, I guess I gotta try it then. And then, side effect. Oh, you got this thing wrong. Or you didn't see this thing. Or the warranty's expired. Now you have to get 3 of them to pay for the 2 that you already have. It's like...
Throughout the world, more than 1,000 books are published every day.
Over 30. You didn't follow the course properly. That's why it didn't work. It's your fault. It's not that the course is total bullshit and has nothing to do with reality. Even though I told you all you do is do 15 different steps, and you'll be instantly famous and have riches forever and look at all the girls.
1,000 a month, 365,000 a year. A chemistry professor recently stated that he couldn't pass today's examinations because at least 2/3 of the questions require knowledge that didn't even exist.
There's all this. Look at this. Is this really valuable? Now you have to. Most of this is in landfills. That's the other thing. It's like really fun to watch these old movies. Like most of this isn't garbage somewhere. that nobody. It was so important at the time. Oh my God, it's the most important thing at landfill.
When he graduated from Oxford.
Wasn't that valuable to begin with? No, it was the most amazing thing ever. It's like, really? It was the most amazing? Now it's just all landfill. I would say 98% of the things you see in this movie, in this thing, are all in landfills.
In the early 30s. This machine makes our lives move faster. Computers combine facts to make new knowledge at such high speed that we cannot absorb it. They affect not just the
time, but the minute that something better came through, landfill. Oh, was that how amazing it was? You had to be the latest, greatest thing. You had to get it because it was amazing, and then the moment something just a little bit better comes out, landfill.
things we buy or the things we know, the things we do.
Don't get me wrong, I love these old computers, and the people that saved them, rare, right? Because this stuff was just so like, ugh. If you look at actually how it works, like, how did this stuff even operate at all? It didn't have to operate for long. It could just operate for a good couple, a year or two, and it was fine. It was better than what they had before. There's a new thing coming out. We're industrial. We're making new stuff. We're doing sales, people. People got to go to school. They got to go on vacation. They got to get a new Chrysler just came out with a new model. I got to get that thing. The wife wants to go on vacation. The kids need braces. We're doing sales, people.
In the past, art was created for permanence. Today, instant art, fast, computer created. Combinations which are changeable and for the moment, beautiful.
And it's so important. This thing, the moment right now is the most important thing ever. It's like, is it really?
As old knowledge is replaced by new, and the pace of change accelerates, the young among us know of no other world. Today's little girl is learning a fundamental lesson. Man's relationship to things is increasingly temporary.
Miss, can I get a new doll?
You want to trade her in?
Yes.
Okay, I think we can give you $1 on that.
Okay.
Do you know which doll you want? She says, Mama. I have 80 cents to my bank.
Even friends.
Definitely sweeter and sold. It was definitely sweeter back then. It was definitely slower and sweeter, and people took time, and were very much more personal because that was what we had. That was our entertainment as well. Being cool with each other was fun. It wasn't just a chore. Oh, I gotta get out of here for the next thing so I can get home to my shows. I gotta get home to my series. I gotta power watch. What's it called? What do they call it when they power watch all the episodes? Binge it. Binge watch. I gotta binge watch my shows.
Don't last. An early lesson in disposability. Nothing is permanent anymore.
It never was. Where was it? When was it permanent? It's been the constant change the whole damn time. Human history is constantly changing one thing to another. There's nothing that stays, and that's why we get sued. Especially Westerners with the materialism. We think that we can hold on to this. We can hold on to this, and we can't. It just slips away. No matter how much we hold on to it, it's gonna change to something else. That's never can get past it. And it's difficult because we were like, "What if I put insurance on it? Can we yell about that? What if I make it so it can't burn down? So it's still going to be taken away." I know.
As we move toward a world of impermanence, buildings once made to last a lifetime are torn down.
Whole districts, whole neighborhoods. Just put a highway through. Can you put a highway over there? No, we're putting a highway through here. This is all old. It's crap. We don't need it no more. The people's jobs. So we're sales driven. People's jobs. We put the highway through the downtown, and that's what will bring all the people through. It's like, no, your highway's not. No, that's not going to bring people in. It's going to make people just go through. They're not even going to stop. Your downtown's going to die. It's like, oh, I guess you're right.
What is built must be easily dismantled, moved, adapted to momentary needs. Temporary structures for an impermanent way of life. symbols of a transient society.
I mean, aren't they all? Name one that's permanent. Japan, maybe? And even then, they were taken over and conquered, reconquered, left and right. Like, oh, is there a permanent one? Maybe Egypt? It's like 6,000 years? Even then, those guys were screwed up half the time. Like, was it really this one empire, one country? Come on. Expected is a pipe dream, and that's what I guess these companies, because they wanna like grift off of our materialistic outlook of wanting everything to be permanent and forever, and it seems like it should be solid, but it's not. We're completely changing every day. We're more changing all the time. We just don't want to look at that, and these companies will sell you that. We'll sell you the hope of everything being the same.
On modular architecture of a society on the move. Every year, some 36 million Americans strip their homes and move on, tearing apart communities, families, and individuals, creating future shock.
This is the last time I'll move ever.
Total atomization. What did she say? Last time we're gonna move?
Creating future shock.
This is the last time I'll move ever.
Not in America, you ain't. We're an atomized society. The jobs are over there now. The jobs are over here now. You gotta go over there now. The cheap homes are over there now. You gotta go over there. Oh, you gotta go there to go get to school. Then you gotta go over here. And all of a sudden, everyone's everywhere else, and nobody knows anybody anymore. And where'd our country go? Where's society go? I'm gonna vote in the next guy who's gonna bring it all back.
Moving on, but where are we going? Nomads without knowing what's ahead. This time, maybe this time we'll find a place to settle down and find someone that we can call our own kind.
Wouldn't that be nice? Isn't that the dream? Isn't that why we give these things to
The telephone directory.
That industry died. Oh, did you spend all that time spending all your money and time coding, and you shipped it off to, now it's in India, and you had to train your replacements? Gotta move again.
Is rewritten every day in an effort to keep track of the mobile society. Pages printed out by the computer. Additions, deletions, names, addresses, numbers.
Big deal.
The rate of change reflecting the fact that where we live means less and less as we breed a new race of nomads. Few suspect how massive, widespread, and uprooting these migrations are.
Oh, man.
Travelers to places never seen.
Trusting society.
Just to get a block away to make all the difference in the world.
Drunks and weirdos. It was, and it was serial killers. No, it was most just everyday people. Be fun. It was fun. That's actually how you met people, because that was that kind of society. It was slow. It was like, oh, what is we got? Drugs, steals, you got a gun. It's like, maybe he did have a gun. He didn't care. It's like, you just picked him up and we're gonna go. It was normal. It was normal to have that stuff. We're high trust society. The fact that this is like considered weird and, oh my God, what are you doing? Like here in Tepoztlan, I live in Mexico. They pick up hitchhikers all the time. People pick each other up all the time. I get picked up. I'm a gringo, and then people pick me up, and I'm walking around all over the place. So this high trust society thing that we had in America, it does exist other places. It's just, it really does color how you feel about your country and your neighbors and the people you live around. If you can't just pick them up, if you're scared to pick them up, that's weird, man. That's a major sign that we're not a country anymore.
A generation reared on high-speed change. Unlike their parents who settled in one place with one set of relatives and friends, young people are on the move, home is a place to leave.
I don't know what like the beautiful thing about traveling around the country or over large areas that you get to meet so many different people in different situations, you know, and like share experiences.
I hang around airports just to like the feel of getting away. And I just like the feeling of getting away. Getting away from like school and work and, you know, my parents.
Freedom. The loss of a sense of belonging. On the coast of Spain, on a Danish beach, temporary encounters. Just as things and places flow through our lives at high speed, so do people. Long-term commitments are not expected. Involvements are compressed in time. Young people embrace new values in an atmosphere of instant intimacy. Everyone craves human warmth and closeness, especially today when relationships seem to be more and more temporary. What we're witnessing, of course, is the death of permanence. A new society is being created.
Just an atomization by the elite that want to just have an easy to manage workforce that doesn't rebel, has no thought of ever rebelling, and will put up with almost anything. It's just an economic zone to be scammed, people to be scammed, extracted, fooled, lied to, scared, so they'll buy your crap. What is it? What is this turning into? They're like, what are people valuing in America? What are the values? Can I run a scam here? Oh, okay, that's great. Oh, we ran scams here. I'm old people, and people can't defend themselves, and 25% interest rates because you got a car broke down because it's a piece of shit. It's designed to. What is America anymore? Come on.
Around is built from the broken pieces of today. And those who people that society are going to live in a very different world.
Definitely different.
Future shock results from too much change in too short a time. Disposability of products and people. Thousands.
We're just not designed to be living in these mega city. Look, man, the cities are for collecting people to extract them value out of them somehow. It's just housing for the workers. And even that's going away because they think they can get rid of the workers now. So it's like, okay, well, then what are we doing with this stuff? It used to be kind of understandable. Like, oh yeah, we can kind of work and just get money and then we play with each other. Now it's like, okay, I work all the time just to live and I don't have time to play because I'm working all the time just to live in this crazy system that they put together. And oh, you better pay your fair share. You better get in there. And other people just, you better make sure all your IDs are up to date or you can't travel. And then just the borders wide open, people coming over, getting grants for making no ID, free loans, all kinds of shit. It's like, wait, what is this? Like, oh yeah, you're paying for that too. It's like, what? Where the hell?
Millions of people are alive today only because they carry inside them electronic devices, plastic parts, transplanted organs. On October 26, 1968, Carl Schaefer had 8 hours to live. A heart transplant extended his life, and he symbolizes the era of the disposable body. Dr. Samuel Kuntz, eminent among transplant researchers and surgeons.
To show you the progress that has been made in transplantation, in 1962 I was involved with a transplant program, and the one-year success rate was about 20%, using living-related donors. 4 years ago, the success rate had increased to about 70%. And at the present time, using living-related donors in kidney transplantation, the success rate is virtually 90%. There is an alternative, however, and that is the use of artificial organs. And kidney transplantation, to a large extent, is made possible by the use of the artificial kidney. And I'm sure that an artificial heart will be developed.
Still working that stuff out.
Temporary body parts. Products of bioengineering with the ultimate potential of building modular bodies, much as we now build modular homes. Research prosthetist John Bray.
I'm holding in my hand a prosthetic device for a below-the-elbow amputation. And this is a very highly sophisticated unit. It has electronic device control.
What they're trying to do is extend this into, like, your whole body. It's like, oh, well, if we just do pieces here and there, then we just do the whole body. It's like, no, that's kind of not human at that point. And what are you trying to do? Live forever like Darth Vader? Like, he's not really a happy guy. I just have to point that out.
Through energy cells. And by placing the transducers over the musculature, we are able to send messages through the electronic system which operates the hand. In effect, it's actually responding to the motor control of the patient who wears it. In fact, at this time, there is hardly any part of the human body, and especially in the extremities, that we cannot replace.
An artificial elbow.
That's the thing. It's like there's no part that we can't replace. Like, okay, so does that mean I'm going to live forever as a robot? See, this is the kind of stuff that's like they've been pushing on this for such a long time.
One more step toward an artificial man. Joints, bones, sockets, sometimes better than the original. Replacing inner bones as plastic surgery replaces the outer skin.
Yes, but you can't just have everyone built from all that stuff. That's what they kind of make it out to. They're kind of like, oh, because we can replace parts. It's like interchangeable. It's like, well, not really.
All stepping stones toward the temporary person. On March 17th, 1916.
I mean, we are temporary. I don't know what you're talking about. The permanent person? What are you talking about? What's this permanent person you're talking about, Orson?
9, Mrs. Verlin Cobb, at age 53, was prematurely wrinkled and weathered. On that day, she underwent rejuvenation surgery under plastic surgeon Dr. Kurt Wagner. Even faces are temporary.
I really can't imagine what I'm going to look like because I've been told that I will look a lot different, that I won't have the wrinkles, and I will look at least 15 years younger. And as far as I'm concerned, 10 years, be thrilled. It's hard to realize that I have got the different face. It's very hard to realize because, you know, it's only been 12 weeks. But it's still, when I make up or I go dress up and I'm walking down the street, I walk with my head up high.
Franz, how you doing?
You should walk up with your head up high anyway. Who cares? Like, this whole, like, living at this age, this physical beauty thing is really super overrated, man. Because a lot of people who are into that stuff are not very nice people inside. I mean, some of them are, but like a lot of them are like, if you're going that far, there might be something else going on there that's like hard to be around.
Even more dramatic changes in the body.
You gotta change your physical thing to make to feel like someone's trying to treat you better. It's just a cry for love, right? So I was like, could I be loved again? Could I be just like have love in my life? That's what this cry, because like, our culture's destroyed. So people are like, where's that Dunbar's number of people I'm supposed to know? And they're like, okay, well, if I look better, maybe people will like me more. It's like, this is not a culture, man.
Skin color. Dr. William Epstein's work raises the prospect of manipulating race.
Okay. In these laboratories, we're interested in the factors that determine skin pigmentation. The question comes up, could we change man's color? And the answer is probably we could, and we'll be able to in the future. If we can control the code, we should be able to make a person any color we want, very much like a fish.
Could I be blue or green? You can put anybody else. This is the kind of weird stuff. This is more sales-driven stuff. Oh, you mean if I'm blue or green like a fish, I will be happier and people will accept me more? I'll get more love or attention or... Yeah, I will? Okay, sign me up. Sold.
But really, do you really want to do that? Why don't you just go to the store, get some cosmetics, put yourself on any color you want, anytime, and be anybody you want. Start a fad.
Be anybody you want. Just by changing the color, you can start a fad. Okay, buddy. Sales, sales, sales. How much does that cost? Would you charge for that? Is that something you could do for me? Can I be someone else? With makeup?
Will the human race emerge in a range of brilliant colors? Given the choice, would we want to look alike or different? What is beautiful? What happens to race?
So it's race is just your color? This is the color of skin you are? That's what it is? Okay. Jeez.
Step by step, the body parts grow disposable, like products we use and discard. This quaint English village, a remnant of permanence in a future-shocked world, is the home of neurophysiologist Ray Walter. He's one of the many scientists leading us toward the ultimate replacement, artificial intelligence. 25 years ago, he pioneered the development of behavior machines.
This looks rather as though it was a child's toy, and I suppose it might be. But in fact, it's rather a serious model of my ideas of behavior.
And your ideas of behavior, this is with that model little thing, with the little robot with the wheels going around that models the behavior. What kind of behavior what kind of behaviors you guys are hanging around with that have to be, this is their behavior that you're modeling, that's human behavior. See, even back then they were pushing this bullshit. Like, oh, it's just around the corner, it's just right around, it's like 60 years ago. And they're like, it's about to happen. You better get on this.
Complex way, with all kinds of behavior modes, only having 2 elements, compared with our 10 billion in our brains, but this behavior is surprisingly complex. Now, you see it hesitating a moment, and then the body may helpful, and finding its way slowly and by a rather devious path right into its hutch down here. And so, rather like us, it has a sense of priorities, although it's such a very simple toy, but not really just a toy, a model of behavior.
Oh, it's a model of behavior, right? But is it is it a behavior? Is it have something to do with us? Are you saying that's how humans do it? You're saying that's how humans' facilities are just a little rotating robot to get it into the cage. Is that all it is?
Descendants of creatures like those of Dr. Walter.
See, they've been doing these humanoid robot shit forever.
Machines like these can see, hear, touch, smell. They can solve problems that would normally require human intelligence.
They solve problems that would normally require human intelligence. Even back then, they were saying they almost got it figured out. It's almost figured out. Okay, I can't.
Like simple living organisms, they respond to changes around them and act accordingly.
And back then, we'd be like, really? We're around the corner. Gee, look, already got the robots working. They're plugging themselves in, and they're going through mazes, and they're almost human.
We might one day duplicate man, his form, his...
See? Orson Welles telling you they were going to duplicate man. When robots, who would have thunk it?
body, his actions and reactions, carefully engineered for lifelike appearance. A diaphragm. A chest. A simulated breathing human being.
It just goes up and down. Is that what our breathing does? Is that what that is? Just the pump? The pumping action of the oxygen going in and out of the lungs? Is that what breathing is? Is that all it is? Oh, look!
This is Sim 1, developed for the training of anesthesiologists.
That's valid. That's valid. To see for a model for humans to train on. It's got limited factors that you have to pay attention to as an anesthesiologist. Yeah, that's a good use of it. But this is not a human being. This is not a human being. It never will be a human being. But they try to mix the two together. And then people, because they like to, hey, it could be like this. It might be like that. It could be just happen around. It could just be the next thing. They're going to be replacing humans.
It's a machine, a breathing, functioning, computerized patient.
If they really do think humans are this basic and simple, even though their minds are not. So there gets there's a regular person, which is like an NPC clone robot that could be just told, should be told what to do. It's totally ethical to lie to them and cheat them and steal them. And then there's real humans like Orson Welles, we're above it. We're above all that, and we think it's wrong to do that, and we should be stopped. But we're gonna go ahead and greenlight all this bullshit.
As the pace of technology accelerates, as the pieces are laid into place, the pattern seems clear. We might create an artificial man.
Well, is that what you're doing, an artificial man? Is that how you're going to do it? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to do an artificial man? Is that how you're going to... Is that what we're going to do? You're going to create a man-free world with a bunch of these dummy robots running around? Other than that's going to solve all your issues? These guys are crazy. They're crazy.
Proceeds on the brain. It may someday be possible to combine all the elements into a lifelike duplication of flesh and blood. The momentum is established, but the direction is up to us. Is there danger in the path we're taking? What happens to the definition of man? Who is he?
No men. How about no? A man-free world. That's what they're kind of pointing at, right? Why have all these replaceable stuff? We just have a new kind of person that takes orders. He shuts up and they breathe. Look, he's breathing. You can see his chest move.
What is he? Imagine the novel sensation of trying to determine whether the smiling, courteous humanoid behind the airline ticket counter is a pretty girl or a transistorized robot.
Your flight 21 to Dallas has been confirmed. Departure 2:30, arrival Dallas.
I mean, that's kind of like we're pretty much there. So why? And if you can just have the guy at the agent at the thing be a robot, why not the passengers be robots too? Wouldn't that solve a lot of the problems? Solve a lot of issues. Especially with cleaning. You won't have any more barf bags. You have the perfect passenger.
Bus time 4:36. Boarding, gate 17A. Have a nice flight.
Have a nice flight.
Born into a future shocked world. in which machines and science cause changes that shatter basic institutions like church, school, family, a world in which nothing endures, not even motherhood. Dr. Charles Epstein researches the birth process.
At the present time, it's possible for us to take mouse eggs, to fertilize them in the test tube, to reimplant them, and to have the birth of a normal animal, an animal which is capable of breeding and reproducing its own kind. While these things have been going on in the mice for quite a while, attempts have also been made and are now being made to do similar things with human eggs.
No human mothers needed, just implant eggs, sperms, mass produce humans. We can make them into whatever we want. We can make them however we like.
Fertilize them in the test tube and to put them back into mothers, hopefully to lead to the delivery of a normal child. But of course all this raises very real questions. Assuming that a child so conceived would be born normal, there are of course the legal questions of who the parents would really be. But as far as I'm concerned, the overriding question is whether we as scientists should become involved with...
Well, it's the donors of the egg and sperm, fuckface. Who do you think the parents are? What kind of science degree do you got, buddy?
And should intervene in a process which is so fundamental to human survival.
Baby shower.
Just putting the egg and sperm together? Ooh, that's not changing the parents.
Imagine being able to program the IQ of a baby.
Imagine that. Imagine what kind of world that would be.
Preset its sex.
Super fun. Super fun. Everyone would be doing math quizzes all day. What's 22 times 57? 286, 5,000. Everybody just answers at the same time. Everyone's got a billion IQ. We're doing so great with a billion IQ. Look at our society. We can do math. A lot of it. It's always right.
Color, height, and other characteristics. Baby toy.
That's the important thing to have a culture. Is to make sure everyone can do math in their heads at breakneck speed. Because that's what makes a culture, is the high IQ.
Genetic supermarkets of the future, changing the very structure of the family. The family.
Traditionally, it's a source of warmth, comfort, security, protection from the outside world. Like most other traditions and institutions, the family is changing.
First thing is the marriage, I think. But you don't think so?
What's important to keep a marriage is to be able to pay the bills to take some of the pressures off.
No.
But the pressure's off. Yeah, because all I do is work all day. I ain't having no fun. Because I ain't doing math too good. My IQ ain't good enough to do math real fast. So I've got a lot of work to do. A lot of extra homework. What's pressure on my marriage? It makes it tough to raise kids. Well, I don't do math real good, so I might get a high Q boosted kid. So we don't have this problem in the future.
The point is,
the point is you're sick.
And you're neurotic.
In our society, marriage is ideally based on love. It is expected that two people will grow together, change together, and complement each other, till death do them part.
Oh yeah, that's real. Is that what it is? Is that what? Oh, man, that's what was been at one time. It hasn't been like that for. Come on, that's not really what it's for these days. We want to have the ceremony and the party, and then all eyes on me, and you have to make me happy. And if I'm not happy, I get to say I'm not happy, and I take half your shit. Yeah, that's what we're doing now. We're supporting each other, growing together. What are you talking about? No, if you don't meet my needs, I divorce your ass. You take half your shit, and you can get the hell out of here, and I go on and do it again. What's to stop me? Nothing? I didn't think so.
The likelihood that two people will grow and develop at the same rate becomes more and more remote.
Who said that was going to happen anyway? Where would that come in the equation? To have and hold and to equally grow at the same exact rate?
Rapid change places a heavy burden on the fragile thread of love.
Get yourself
the fragile thread of love. Okay, like a love. Marriage isn't for love. Marriage is for the children to have a family, make children. You give up a lot of that shit. And so this whole like love, it's like, where does that shit come from? That's new. That was an overlay. It's like, no, it's like taking responsibility for life, and your people involved, and you become a upstanding person, and you're respectable, and you're a stand-up person, and you show up and you're responsible. No, that's make me happy. You gotta love me. You gotta love me forever. Put up with everything I do from here on out, unless I don't like it, and then we just pull out at any moment. And fuck those kids, right? If I'm not happy, fuck those kids.
4 other mistresses, and be happy. That's all. I'll get myself some lovers and fine.
They're not too hard for you, is it? That's definitely not Not a big stretch for women to get that going. Come on now. It's like this. Come on, stop.
So I guess it's understandable that the institution of marriage itself is taking on new forms.
Well, I mean, if you take away the faults, so you just pull out at any time, and you give them cash and prizes to one person that has been slacking and not picking up their end of the bargain. Yeah, what do you think's gonna happen? Come on.
A woman's face rarely reveals all the changes in her life. Recently, this woman made a controversial choice. She now lives with 3 men and 2 women in a group marriage.
I feel living in a group marriage situation that you are able to have closer intimacies than you do with just having friendships on the outside because they're mainly acquaintances.
The concept of group marriage is an example of change in society's institutions. It is a result of loneliness in a world of ever more temporary relationships. And as the speed of technological change increases throughout the world, so too will experimentation with new family styles.
Hi. How you doing?
Hello, dear.
Hi.
How you doing?
Very good, very good. It makes you realize that you have quite a bit to offer when more than one person cares for you. And you have a tendency to discover...
Do they really care for you? Do they really care for you? Is that really what they're doing? It's just gonna fucking you. Just telling you what you want to hear until they're bored. And we're gonna move on. What's to stop them from moving on? I'm not happy anymore with these 2 other guys that are screwing you. We're group married. Can you get group divorced too? Is there anything holding it together more than just your shared codependency? No, just I'm not happy, and that's it. It's over.
Much to your amazement that you can love very, very much more than one person. Not equally, but in different ways. But you can really learn to care for other people.
There are thousands of homes like this in every part of the United States where couples are sharing their lives. Unfortunately, they have to be surreptitious about it. They don't dare tell their friends or neighbors.
Robert Rimmer and his wife of 30 years. He is a leading exponent of group marriage and has written influential books on the subject like The Harrod Experiment and Proposition 31.
I have suggested group marriages as under the name corporate marriage, and I think what would happen if there was a legal form of group marriage or even bigamous marriage available, many people would immediately attempt it.
A middle-class neighborhood in suburbia, USA.
Some people would, I guess. I don't know, but what's the upside? This is like a throwback to something else. People just really want to have that Dunbar's number of people around them, right? That's really this is really what this is cry for. It's not about this group marriage, new styles of. It's like they want to be loved, like they felt like they had a love when they were kids, and everyone was still in one area, or completely atomized, running across the countries for these ridiculous jobs and careers and blah, 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 all the things. When people had a set number of people, that's how we were for 50,000 generations. Is kind of in one little area, and once in a while we had to go move, but that was usually because of war or famine or some fucked up thing happened, and we all went as a group. Not now. It's everyone's like, pew, I don't know you. Who are you? I don't know. If I man, it's so bad. It's so bad. But it's normal. Everyone's like, no, that's just how it is now. Really.
It could be anywhere. Germany, England, Sweden. It's a commune. 23 people, married and single. A different kind of family.
Well, it was a hassle. I've been electrical engineer, technical writer. I've been married several times, had a family, houses. It got to be a drag. I like it much better here. This is, for me, a great way to live, relating to people. It's a family. It's a much better way than what I've been into for the last 50
years. Yeah, I'd like to learn. I'd like to follow up with some of these stories. So these people in these group homes and what sexual shit's going on with the kids and all that junk. Yeah, that's all going on. There's something wrong with people acting like this.
15 years.
On mountaintops, in deserts, in sparsely populated areas around the world, young people seek escape from the hectic overstimulation of a high-speed society, forming primitive communes like this. They reject today by returning to yesterday. And here, yet another kind of marriage.
Tom, do you have a ring for Don? Would you place it on his finger and repeat after me? With this ring I thee wed.
With this ring I thee wed.
For as much as our brothers, Tom and Donald, have consented together in holy wedlock, and have witnessed the same before God in this company, and thereunto have given and pledged their troth each to the other, and have declared the same by giving and receiving a ring, and by joining hands, I pronounce that they are married. Amen.
The setting for a quiet revolution.
It's a sacred thing.
Part of a larger revolution affecting all our institutions.
Us, which are mystical creatures. We are mystical creatures. I know it's a person. No. We're mystical beings. And when two parents come together, two people come together, they produce a child, that's another mystical creature that's in this crazy universe that's unlimited and infinite. And we're somehow part of it. And we're not just an economic goddamn unit. And it's not just, we can call marriage, it's like marriages produce children to create the society. This is a mystical, mysterious thing. The society of these humans that are like us. And we're not just economic units, and so we shift it around and to be given information. And what's your opinion? You have to have one, and it has to be based on this electronic information. You have to diagnose it. You have to deduce it. You have to show all your supporting evidence and your chain of reasoning. Fuck you.
Religion. Education. The factory-like school is under attack. Education is in the midst of revolution, and like most institutions, the result is change.
What are they teaching there? And who's arranging all these people too? Who's organizing that stuff? Do these guys are they self-organized? Do they really self-organize? Really? And who's behind that? What are they trying to pull? More of the same.
As public institutions change, so do accepted standards.
During the past 9 years, I've been a theater manager.
Okay, this is just more a call to authority. Oh yeah, the authority. Everyone has to decide. And if you don't decide what everybody else decides, you're a bad person. No, I don't have to decide. I don't have to be involved with any of that crap. Nope. You need to make an informed decision. You need to see your line of reasoning. You better have supporting evidence. You better be able to demonstrate it. It's like, no, I don't fucking do anything. No, you got to take the jab, or we're gonna get you fired. What is this?
And during the last 3 years, since the enactment of the motion picture rating system, we have found that X-rated films are very popular with our audience and very profitable to us. As a matter of fact, I've been arrested 3 times for allegedly exhibiting obscene films. I'll show anything that the public wants to see. If they want to see pornographic films, fine. If not, we'll show whatever they want to see.
Whatever, man. I'm glad you got your way. I'm sure it's a really important thing to do, and to keep the society to have a culture is to show pornographic films. Show anything to anybody for $1. I'm sure you will, buddy.
Civil servants, teachers, and even policemen on strike. Another shockwave to absorb. The foundations of the old society crumble. Women strive for equal rights in numbers never seen.
Equal rights? Okay, you get equal rights you already have equal rights under the law. You had it back then. You can't be man. You can't do everything. Like, who's pushing this stuff? Who's paying for all this stuff that never mentioned, never talked about, never investigated, never looked into? Just a spontaneous thing. They got equal rights. They got massive amounts of effort behind it. It's not a CIA operation or anything, is it? No. They would never be involved in domestic operations. It's all massive psyops just to destroy the family so they can have government, and government gets paid off by these massive corporations and basically have people in. It's just a new feudalism. If you can see through it, you can try to wiggle your way out of it. But if you can't see through it, you get wrapped up as, that must be right. I saw it on TV.
Before, the rejection of roles which have been dictated by...
It's still bad. It's even worse now, but even back then it was just like, look at these people. You already have rights. You had them already. Come on. No, all the rights have to be completely equal. Really? Am I kicking people down? Or are you going to bring them up? You're going to somehow pump up their steroids or something to make them as strong? It's equal rights under the law. Under the law. Yes, that need to be rectified. Anything rights that they didn't have, yes, okay, they have them all now. But we're still talking about this shit 60 years later. They have more rights. Women have more rights than men. And they still don't think there's we're in a minority. It's like there's more of you. You're the majority. You are in charge of everything. When the man looks at you too sideways, they can get sued. If you do, you can kiss it. You can touch him on the shoulder. You can wear perfume, low cut dress. And you look at it, it's like, what are you doing? It's sexual harassment. It's like this is not a culture. This is something else. This is a psyop. This is like a destruction of a culture.
Tradition, the right to lead an independent life. Symptoms of a society that is cracking out of the pressures for change. What was private is now public. What was condemned now strives for acceptance. The symptoms of society's break.
Forces that are basically the world leaders to keep us in a feudalism. If you're an NPC, you get caught up in this shit. You think it's the wonderful, great thing. I feel so bad for you because you're very damaged. We're all damaged from living in this crazy ass society. We're all warped and strange and trying to deal with it, but the NPCs that don't realize it, yeah, man, you've been abused. You're looking through the lens of an abused person. Like growing up in this world with all the schooling and all the crazy crap that they make us think about. Yeah, you're a wounded person. If you're like, no, I'm not. I'm normal. You're the one that's wounded. It's like, no, man. I'm wounded too, but at least I admit it. And I'm not going along with every goddamn thing these people pronounce. No, it's important that you take a side on this. Like, no, I don't have to do anything you say. I don't. I'm a child of God. I don't fucking have to follow anything rules you say. I don't have to follow any of it. And NPC's like, no, you must follow all the rules, the dictates as soon as they come out. You must follow everything they follow up with and everything changed. You must forget everything they said before.
Down erupt on a worldwide scale. We are living through one of the greatest revolutions in history, the birth of a new civilization. Collective protests shatter the structure of the old. Changes bombard our minds and bodies. We become confused, helpless, unable to cope. We all live in turbulence, often silent, personal. The result is the same, stress.
Everything that happens is accepted. You better pick a side. Pick a side. There's only two sides.
In 1969, it was reported that Dr. A. Nafek of the Soviet Academy of Science had predicted that the world would soon see a genetic equivalent of an arms race. That the world powers would soon develop genetic engineering capable of increasing the output of geniuses. Criticized for such an outlandish and horrifying speculation, he replied merely that the advance of science is and ought to be unstoppable. Not everyone, of course, would agree with that statement.
Yeah, the way the incentives put on the war, kill superhuman people so we can get rid of all the people who dumb people in an easy way, make them volunteer in. Maybe they could take a few of these in the arm. Maybe we convince the dumb ones to do this. You ever think about that? That might be what's going on. It's like, oh, if you follow along and go through all this stuff, that you might be targeted? No, never heard of it. Okay.
Think of the consequences. Genetics, computers, space, racing blindly ahead, causing the pressures of future shock to intensify. Scientists themselves are concerned. Psychobiologist James McGaw.
It's not now possible to produce the same kind of changes in memory that in humans that we've produced in animals. Such experiments are probably just around the corner. And whether the procedures are the same.
We've been involved with a major one going forward with this social media stuff. You can't remember three weeks ago what was happening. The news cycle is now, it used to be like a month. Now it's like a week and a half. Where they change the stories or wrap through them. And their stories are so crazy you can't even remember all the stuff that happened, and they're exposed, and you're supposed to remember. You're supposed to stay on top of it, to be informed. It's just all this crazy, insane shit. That's like, if you really look at it, it's like they can't prove any of that shit. We have no idea if that stuff's real. They've been caught so many times lying about everything, even the biggest shit, over and over and over again. They just pay a fine. Nobody goes to jail. Nobody goes to prison. There's no case that's real. It's like, oh man, pay $1 million. Okay, they make $1 billion of profit. Oh, they only have to pay us $1 million fine. You don't think that's gonna keep repeating over and over and over again until it can't be repeated anymore?
Same or different from the ones that we use, it seems clear that within a very few years, it will be possible to change memory processes in human beings through the use of drugs and electrical stimulation.
Yeah.
Let's look forward to a period, a number of years from now, perhaps when a person gets up in the morning and has to take the drug to bring his IQ up to the appropriate level, slap on the battery pack so that whenever he gets depressed, he can press a lever and turn on electrical stimulation, which delights him a little bit, and find then that it's not just that he can do these things, which is enough to understand, but that he does do these things. Not that it's possible to gain control over intellectual functioning, but in fact that we have. And this person then, perhaps an entire society, will be seen as a victim of the success of biotechnology. That is to say that he no longer can exercise the choice to take the drug or put on the battery pack or whatever, but he's lost that choice simply because of the subtle and pervasive increase in the tendency to use it.
Technology and science.
Okay, so the more you use it, the more you're going to use it? The more you're going to use it as a crutch? Oh, we're going to use AI is going to take over jobs. Really? You think it's going to be this kind of shit? It's like, STEM. This is a great culture I live in. I'm just STEMing all the day, and my IQ's boosted. I can do math like a motherfucker.
Altering behavior, extending our control over mind and body. We wire the animal. We wire the human. And with every new step, the consequences for human life become magnified. The secret of life itself. The DNA molecule. A genetic discovery that could give man the ability to create life to specifications. With it
This is the dream, just to create life to specifications.
comes the power to change evolution itself. Never have we had such opportunity, such awesome responsibility.
The DNA
That
molecule
won't be abused. No, they would never abuse that. They would never use that for evil. They would only use it for good.
might very well turn out to be the most important discovery in the whole history of medical science. Not only is it possible to create life, but to recreate it. Considering present scientific knowledge, we may soon be able to create carbon copies of human beings. Imagine the implications. To duplicate a human being genetically, down to the last detail.
Oh, is it down to the last details? It all just in DNA. That's where all that stuff comes from. It has nothing to do with the cultural environment, the social language, history. No, it's just the DNA.
Cryonics. There is experimentation now with the possibility that a body might be frozen and revived. If the frozen traveler awakes, what will he find? The advance of science tempts us to
Find out if somebody, the power went out, he's dead. That's what he's going to find out. He's dead again. Ah, oh well, died again.
speculate on the nature of the world which lies ahead. And the frozen time traveler, like all of us, looks to tomorrow with hope for a better life, a better world.
Yeah, just throw it away in the future with all this stuff. Like STEM. I'm switching around the different whole place. Oh, wow, it's a wonderful world we're living in. Oh, boy, this is great.
Since time immemorial, we have produced fanciful images about future life. Imagined cities of tomorrow, urban centers, a megalopolis, a vista of towers, traffic.
Just totally atomized, totally separated, totally disconnected. Don't know your neighbors. You guys are all stemmed up and all doing IQ pills. We're doing great, guys. Okay, dude, I'm repeating now. Okay, I've done an hour of this, and you guys can watch the rest of it. And you can give me a like and subscribe, and I'll leave a link in the thing down below. And I'll talk to you later.
But the good thing about the American dream is that you can just go to sleep and try it all again the next night.
Yeah. Good night. Yeah.